All right, so given another 15 minutes or so of just tinkering and trying to figure out where I was going wrong exactly with specific test cases, I eventually was able to get a solution to work. It involved basically the situation in this test case where, which one is it? I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this test case where it was um, my code was breaking in a pretty important spot. So yeah, here's that spot. So essentially, I was adding this peak, and all of this was working correctly, um, as well as this, but I have recently changed it. So initially, this was if left is less than or equal to right. Um, so this should look very familiar if I were to just do something like that. That's what it was initially, but my thought process didn't take into account a situation where mountain has no length, meaning that in this situation, for when we are looking at these two elements, mountain is just an empty array at this point, and because we would have just completed this branch of logic. So mountain would be an empty array. Start mount index is undefined. So we'd be looking here, and if we had our code as it was before, left is, so 2 is equal to right. We would have added that 2 to our mountain, and that's actually not a peak because there is no shoulder, or I guess, yeah, I think that's what we were talking about. There was no shoulder to start the peak. So really we were just starting at a shoulder that also happened to be the start of a plateau. And so the fix that I was able to come up with was really just adding this other branch in my logic, and the conditional statement being that if left is equal to right, so if it's the start of a plateau, or it's a continuation of a plateau, we're only going to add that element if mountain already has a length greater than 0. So thus avoiding this situation where we're identifying the start of a peak before we even, want to. So yeah, this was a solution that, I mean, it is a solution. I can't really speak to it being the cleanest solution, but it does pass all the test cases, and I got close. I definitely exceeded the hour. I think my total time was probably about 110, 115. But happy to have come to a solution. I don't expect the problem on the interview that I have coming up is going to be as intensive, but it's possible. And so the more exposure I have to this uncomfortable feeling of failure, and kind of squirming, trying to I sort of hacked a bit towards the end there, but yeah, I guess just the more exposure I have to that feeling, the more comfortable I will be under pressure. So yeah, this was just kind of an add-on video showing you that I could in fact find a solution, and that it was very close, but just a little out of reach given the time constraint, and just given some overlooked circumstances, very much highlighted by the test case where my code was failing. So yeah, thanks for watching if you made it this far, and yeah, let's submit. Get our kata points or whatever, our Caillou. Great. Well, thanks for watching.